And we're live, Chairperson Holloway.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, good morning, everybody. I'd like to open the December 23rd Subdivision Review Committee meeting, and would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes. Member Mejia?
Here.
Member Santiago?
Here.
Member Floyd?
Here.
Member Hambrick?
Here.
Member Hicks?
Here.
And Member Holloway.
Present. Okay, in compliance with the directives of the state, county, and Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, this meeting is live streamed and closed to the public. Temporary procedures are subject to change pursuant to guidelines related to social distancing and minimizing person-to-person contact. To make a verbal comment at today's particular meeting, please dial 916-875-2501 to provide your contact information. And we're getting some background noise. Callers will be contacted by phone and transferred into the meeting to make their public comment. Please send your written comments to board clerk, that's one word with a capital C, capital B, at saccounty.net. Your comment will be routed to the board and filed for the record. Let's see. Please speak from a handset or a headset and mute your devices when not speaking to minimize background noise. Announce your name when speaking on agenda items so all participants and listeners are aware who has the floor. When the chair calls for a motion in a second, please announce your name prior to making the motion or the second. The clerk will take a voice and confirm the results of the vote. Please refer to the chat window to see what members may have comments or questions. We are primarily a technical committee made up of representatives of various county departments, service providers, and safety officers. Subdivision Review Committee acts as the county hearing authority to make final decisions on tentative parcel maps, certain boundary line adjustments, and certificates of compliance. As the hearing authority for these items, the SRC takes into consideration all county codes, the general plan, and other relevant county policies. For parcel maps that must go before the Planning Commission or the Board of Supervisors, we will act only in an advisory role on the technical aspects of the map. We will not consider the policy implications, other entitlements, or the merits of the project, just the technical compliance of the application. The decision of the SRC on these matters is final unless an appeal is filed within 10 days of the decision to the clerk of the board. And for those that wish to speak today from the public or the applicant side, the clerk will please administer the oath.
Okay. Please raise your right hand, and the appropriate response is I do. Do you swear the testimony you are about to give is the truth, so help you God? If you do not swear, do you so affirm?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. I think the first item is approval of the minutes. And are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? None appearing. Then may we have a motion? Am I on mute?
I'm sorry. Member Santiago, motion to approve action summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Do we have a second?
Mejia, a second.
All right. Thank you, Manuel. If there's no other discussion, would the secretary please call the roll?
Member Mejia?
Yes.
Member Santiago?
Yes.
Member Floyd?
Yes.
Member Hambrick?
Yes.
Member Hicks?
Yes.
And Member Holloway?
Yes. Okay. Do we have any public comments to start the meeting with?
We currently do not have any public comments.
Okay. Comments from any members before we start the meeting? Okay, then why don't we call item 2, please?
Item 2, 7425 West 4th Street tentative parcel map located at 7425 West 4th Street in the Rio Linda, Alberta community. The request is for a tentative parcel map, special development permit, an exception from title and design review. Environmental doc is a negative declaration.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good morning, everyone. This
Good morning.
is Kimber. Good morning. This is Kimber Gutierrez. I'll be presenting the item today. As Stephanie said, this is for a tentative parcel map. The documents, I don't think we have any members of the public on, but you can access the documents at planningdocuments.saccounty.net, and the control number is PLNP 2019-00093. Next slide, please. The project site is in the Agricultural Residential 2 zone and is located on the west side of West 4th Street, approximately 450 feet south of West U Street in the Rio Linda, Alberta community. The project site is 6 acres in size and is 6 gross acres in size, sorry. Next slide, please. So the request before you today is for a tentative parcel map, special development permit, exception from Title 22, and a design review. The tentative parcel map would divide the 6-acre lot into 3 lots in the AR2 zone. The special development permit is to deviate from a public water system and from the minimum lot width for one of the parcels. And the exception from Title 22 is to allow proposed lots to be served by individual water wells instead of a public water system. So both the special development permit and the exception are for the public water system. And then the special development permit also includes the reduction in lot width. And of course, design review to comply with countywide design guidelines. Next slide, please. Here is the proposed tentative parcel map. So as you can see, parcel 1 would be configured to take up the entire north property line. Parcel 1 is the parcel that is requesting a deviation from the minimum lot width requirements. And then parcel 2 would be accessed via a private drive along the south property line, ending in a fire turnaround. And then parcel 3 would contain the existing single-family home and accessory structures that are currently developed on the site. All 3 parcels are proposed to have access to West 4th Street. And as you can see, there is a large seasonal wetland feature, seasonal pond in the west portion of the site. This does limit the developable area of parcel 2. So you can see that it is about 0.29 acres, I believe, of developable space. And the applicant has designed the configuration in a way to allow that site to still be developed while not encroaching into the wetland feature or the floodplain. So the dotted line is the location of the floodplain. Next slide, please. The applicant has also prepared a conceptual site plan to show that the newly created parcels have enough room and space to be developed on. So the orange-ish features are the proposed conceptual homes. These are not kind of set in stone, just to kind of show that there is enough room and space available. They also have prepared a potential septic and well location, and they will be working with EMD to ensure that those meet all of the requirements and standards. Next slide, please. Actually, stay on this slide. Yeah, so really quick, there are a total of 13 non-native trees on site. So you can see there, the ones that they are proposing for removal are X'd out. So there are 4 trees that are proposed for removal as well. Next slide. So just to kind of go over some key points, the existing single-family home and accessory structures will be remaining on site. The only thing that will be removed is a portion of the workshop, as it would be encroaching onto parcel 1, which is the newly created parcel. It does contain the seasonal wetland feature, but the applicant has configured the lots in a way to avoid encroachment into those features and creating a developable area outside of the floodplain. 4 trees are proposed for removal, and all parcels will have access to West 4th Street. The environmental document is a negative declaration, and there is an MMRP as well. I neglected to include a recommendation slide, so I wanted to go over the recommendations now. The project did go before the Rio Linda Alberta Community Planning Advisory Council on August 16th of this year. The CPAC recommended approval of the proposed project, and no members of the public spoke on the item. And the project was also presented to the Design Review Advisory Committee, which met on August 27th of this year. And the DRAC recommended the project be found in substantial compliance with the countywide design guidelines. So with that, the staff is recommending the Subdivision Review Committee take the following actions to determine that the environmental analysis is adequate and complete, and adopt the negative declaration, adopt the mitigation monitoring and reporting program, approve the tentative parcel map, approve the special development permit subject to the findings and conditions, and find the project in substantial compliance with the countywide design guidelines. Next slide.
Okay. Thank you, Kimber. Good report.
Thank you.
Questions from the committee for Kimber? None appearing.
Mr. Holloway,
Hi.
this is Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Hi. I did want to discuss parcel number 3. I believe the proposed parcel number 3 with the conceptual plans. Oh, parcel 2, I'm sorry. There were some additional comments that came in yesterday from our septic team in regards to this project, so I just wanted to let Maria know that these proposed well and septics will need to be reconfigured, especially for parcel 2, and that parcel water lines and septic lines can't encroach on the existing septic system.
Hi, this is Maria. Hi, Megan. Yes, I got the email from Kimber yesterday, and we understand the concerns that you raised.
Okay, especially about parcel 2, since the developable area is only 0.329 acres. That's going to be a little challenging for both the septic and the well to be met. Typically, you have to have the 2, so a variance may need to be submitted prior to any development on parcel 2.
Yes, we understand that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Megan, this is Manuel. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that location of the well in the floodplain. Is that normal that they could have wells in the floodplains?
Not typically. However, depending on what the base flood elevation is, the well casing may be able to go through a variance to raise the casing up so that it's above the base flood elevation level, depending on what that is.
No, that's what I was kind of thinking about. Okay, great. Kimber, just kind of a question for you.
Yes.
On the remaining parcel, I think they're going to remove part of the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess before they could have called it a barn because they had setbacks. They weren't concerned about setbacks, but now they're calling it a shed. I was kind of wondering and Maria might be able to help on this one. What's the size of the existing house that's there versus the amount of square footage of accessory structures? And does that comply with the allowance for our accessory structures for that parcel?
So, Manuel, this is Maria. I don't have that calculation at my fingertips.
Okay. I mean, the setbacks seem to be okay. I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, it does meet setbacks, and I don't have that calculation either, but I believe given the size of the parcel and the agricultural residential zone, that they would be under the allowable square footage.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions for Kimber from the committee? How about the applicant? Does the applicant have anything they'd like to say?
This is Maria Wong again, and I also believe that Ellen Sullivan is on the line. She's the owner. She may also want to address the committee. I just wanted to say thank you to staff because this was a little bit tricky. As Megan, alluded to, there were a lot of moving parts on this project, and I just want to thank staff for their time in helping us work through all of those. We have read through all of the conditions of approval, including, as I mentioned, the information that Megan sent over yesterday, and we are in agreement and understand all of those. So with that, I will open the floor to Ellen if she'd like to also address the committee, and I have no other comments or questions.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We appreciate that.
Hi, this is Ellen Sullivan, and I didn't have anything to add to what Maria said, so thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, if there's no other public comments or from the applicant, what's the pleasure of the committee?
This is Madam Mejia. I would like to determine that the environmental analysis is adequate and complete and adopt a negative declaration per attachment 10, to adopt the mitigation monitoring and reporting program per attachment 11, to approve the tentative parcel map attachment 5, subject to findings and conditions in attachment 2, and to approve the special development permit, which is attachment 3, subject to findings and conditions. That's my motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Member Santiago seconds the motion.
Thank you, Tony. Any other discussion, any further discussion by the committee? Any comments from the public? Okay, I think we're ready to call for the vote.
Okay, and let the record reflect we do not have any public comment.
Thank you.
Member Mejia?
Aye.
Member Santiago?
Aye.
Member Floyd?
Aye.
Member Hambrick?
Aye.
Member Hicks?
Aye.
And Member Holloway?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Let's see. Next item is, do we have a staff update?
Not at this time.
Okay. Comments, suggestions from the committee members? None appearing. Any final public comments? I think
No,
we are ready.
no public.
Thank you very much. I think we are ready to adjourn. So, if there's any other issues, I would adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank
Stay
you, Brian.
safe.
Thanks, Brian.
Stay safe.